In this presentation, we will concentrate on the national environmental analysis as well as the international environmental analysis. Uh, these are analysis to be performed to establish the strategic position of an entity. Okay, so let's start with national environmental analysis. Now, in analyzing or in an attempt for an entity to analyze the national environment, it means that entity wants to know the opportunities and the threats. Okay, the opportunities and the threats in the external environment. So in fact, in typing, I did a mistake here. Let me write the put down the right thing. Opportunities and what? And the threats. That is the purpose of the national environmental analysis. Okay, so in analyzing the national environment, we use a framework. So the most appropriate model or framework used in analyzing the national environment to determine the opportunities and the threat is PESTEL, the PESTEL framework. So the P stands for political, okay? So this is the political factors, political environment, and within the political environment, you have political factors. The E stands for economic environment, and within the economic environment, that's where we have the economic factors. Okay, and then the S stands for the sociocultural environment, which brings out the sociocultural factors. Then we have technological environment, and of course, that will also bring out the technological factors. The next E here is ecological environment, and then the legal environment, and they will all result in the ecological and legal factors respectively. Okay, so when you say political environment, in effect, we are talking about the or factors. We are talking about the political actions, what government will do. So, for instance, we want to undertake national environmental analysis. That we want to analyze Ghana to know the position, the opportunities and threats in Ghana. So the first thing is that what are the decisions undertaken by the government of Ghana that may be an opportunity or that may threaten the organization? That is all. So when we want to undertake national environmental analysis, in effect, that company wants to know the opportunities and the threats that may help the organization achieve its objective or prevent it from achieving its objective. So all the government or public sector decisions that will help the organization achieve its objective is the political factors, which are opportunities. Moreover, government decisions that will prevent the organization from achieving its objectives are still political factors, but here they are threats. The next thing is the economic factors. So that's the indicators of the economic indicators like inflation, the interest rate, the exchange rate. So these factors can help an organization either achieve its objective or prevent it from achieving its objective. So when the economic indicators will help the organization achieve its objective, they become economic factors that are opportunities. But economic factors that will prevent an organization from achieving its objective are economic factors. However, they are threats. The next element in the pestle analysis is sociocultural factors. And these are about the attributes of the people. For instance, their age, okay, their gender, their tastes and preferences. So the age distribution, their gender, their taste and preferences, and other sociocultural factors may help an organization achieve its objective or may threaten or prevent organization from achieving its objective. For instance, an entity is into selling, let's say, let me take an example that you can understand very well. So the organization is to selling aged products. Okay, the aged, the aged. Now, when let's say we look at the demographic factors per the statistics, we can say that about 70% of Ghanaians are aged. So if 70% of Ghanaians are aged, then it means that obviously that will be our opportunity because that is what we are into. But if this statistics changes, whereby, for instance, about just 5% of Ghanaians are becoming aged, and we are into selling the aged product, you see that this will be a threat. Probably the company has already produced those products. So what are they going to do with them? Okay. So the social-cultural factors that can help an organization achieve its objectives are the opportunities. But if the social-cultural factors will prevent the organization from achieving its objective, becomes like a threat. Then we have the T becoming, which is the technological factors. That's the impact of IT. So IT may be an opportunity to a company or a threat, as we all know. So if we look at those into typewriters, if really a company is still into selling typewriters and all that, as compared to previously, you see that that will be a threat to the company. Okay, so advancement in technology may either help an entity achieve its objective or may prevent the organization from achieving its objective. Then we have ecological factors. This one, ecological factors. So the ecological factors generally deals with the environment, the factors in the environment, changes in the weather and the environment. And lastly, the legal factors. It's about the laws. So the change in laws may help and either help the organization achieve the objective or prevent the organization from achieving the objective. For instance, when we look at specifically Ghana here, the Income Tax Act, some aspect of the Income Tax Act have been amended. So when you go to the Schedule 1, the first schedule of the Income Tax Act 2015 Act 896 as amended, the tax rate, the graduating tax rate has been amended. And certain aspects of the tax laws have been amended, like the personal reliefs and others. So amendment of the tax laws may be an opportunity to the company or may threaten the company as well. So when you're asked to conduct pestle analysis, it is all about identify the factors, the political factors, the economic factors, the social factors, the technical factors, the ecological factors, and the legal factors. That may be opportunity or that may be threat. Right? So the appropriate framework used in analyzing the national environment is what? The pestle framework. The last environment is the international environment. International environment. According to economics theory, a company or a country may achieve comparative competitive advantage over another country by using its natural resources. However, according to Michael Porter, there are four factors that will determine the ability of an entity to achieve comparative competitive advantage over another entity in another country or region. Okay, so all what I mean is that if we want to undertake international environmental analysis, then we want to analyze whether the company may succeed in going international or outside, or an international company coming into the local, that is, let's say Ghana, and succeeding here. Okay, so when a company wants to analyze whether it will succeed in going outside, then the most appropriate framework to use is the Porter's diamond. The Porter's what? Porter's diamond. So the Porter's diamond is the appropriate framework or model used in analyzing the international environment. So when it comes to Porter, the Porter's diamond, there are four factors that determine the ability of a company achieving comparative competitive advantage. And they are: one, favorable factor conditions. When you say favorable factor conditions, in fact, we are talking about the factors of production. So the favorable factor conditions are divided into basic and what? Advanced. Basic and what? Advanced. So the basic favorable factor conditions are the natural resources. So the question is that, okay, we want to go outside. We want to analyze whether we will succeed in going outside. And Porter is saying that the first thing that we can use to go outside and succeed is the availability of natural resources in the home country. So when a company is in Ghana and that company wants to analyze its ability achieving competitive advantage or doing better than its competitors in that country, is to use the natural resource in Ghana, the factors of production to be specific. The advanced favorable factor conditions are the resources that have been developed over years. For instance, skilled labor. Okay, let's say good communication system, the transportation system. So when we have skilled labor here, the communication systems are perfect, the transportation systems are fantastic, or they are in order, then it means that we can base on that to go international and succeed. Okay, so the advanced resources are those resources developed over years. All right. The next factor within the Porter's diamond is the demand conditions in the home market. So here we are talking about if a company wants to go outside and wishes to know whether it will succeed there or not. One of the factors that will determine the ability of that company achieving comparative competitive advantage. When I say comparative competitive advantage, I mean outperforming its competitors internationally. Okay, is the demand conditions in the home market. So, for instance, if Ghanaians demand the product very well, then you can base on that to go outside and succeed there. But if Ghanaians are not demanding the local product, they are not demanding that company's product, how can you go outside and succeed? If in your own country, the locals, the citizens are not demanding, so how much more can you succeed in going outside? Okay. So another factor that also determines the ability of an entity achieving comparative competitive advantage is the related and supporting industry. So the question is that if a company wants to go outside, are there related and supporting industries? Are there industries that are related and support the operations of that company wishing to go outside? And in fact, the related and supporting industries can help an organization achieve comparative competitive advantage provided there is competition in that industry. The related and supporting industries, there's competition there. So it means if there is competition in the related and supporting industries, it means we can purchase let's say our raw materials or our component at a cheaper cost. And based on that, we can use that to go outside and succeed. The last factor that determines the ability of an entity to achieve comparative competitive advantage is the firm strategy, the structure, and what and the measure. The firm strategy, the structure, and what. We'll talk about strategic issues when we get to the next element of the business analysis. So yeah, I'll not talk about that. And we also talk about structure when you get to strategic implementation. So I'll also not talk much about this. But what I want to know now is that the firm strategy, okay, the strategy that the firm wants to use to go outside and the structure of the firm will also determine the ability of that firm achieving comparative competitive advantage. So if the structure of the firm does not match its strategy, then it means it cannot succeed in going outside. So always the strategy of the firm must be in line with the structure. I mean, there should not be a mismatch between the strategy and the structure. That they must be in line. Okay, they must be in line. So that ends the international environmental analysis. Okay, so in the next video, we will be dealing with internal environmental analysis. Internal environmental analysis. So this ends the external environmental analysis. Let me do a very quick recap. We said that in determining the position of a firm, the first thing is to analyze the purpose and the stakeholders' expectation. After that, then the company needs to analyze the external environment. In other words, undertake external environmental analysis. And lastly, internal environmental analysis. So this video has helped us to complete the external environmental analysis. So the next video will deal with the internal environmental analysis, which will end the strategic position analysis. So kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can drop more videos. Subscribe as well and you'll get more videos about that. I have videos on management accounting topics as well, such as investment appraisal, the short-term decision-making techniques, the contemporary approaches or the models of evaluation, and then other aspects. So kindly follow my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.